welcome back to the second day of 4.3. Today we're going to divide rational expressions. It's very similar to multiplying, but different, okay? So if you look back at rule for dividing fractions, when we divide fractions, we take the reciprocal of the second fraction and then multiply. So you can see how it's similar to multiplying, but we have to just remember to flip or invert the second fraction here, and then we can multiply, okay? So you can see it's going to be similar to multiplying, but just different. And again, the other thing we have to watch out for is when anytime we divide by a zero, it's undefined, right? Well, the problem that poses with dividing by rational functions is we're dividing by this entire thing. So we have to take all of our restrictions of that entire fraction and this one, because this is being divided also. So the only one we don't take restrictions for is just this guy, okay? Everything else we have to take restrictions for and find out when they're going to be zero. And so it might be easier to keep track of, hey, I just don't have to do this one. Everything else I have to do, okay? I have to kind of take restrictions for. So we start off the same exact way by factoring. Factors of negative 15 that add up to 2 are going to be x plus 5 times x minus 3. Factors of a squared minus 16, that's a difference of 2 squares. So a plus 4, I put x there instead of a. What am I doing? There we go. A plus 4 times a minus 4. And then we're going to multiply and flip this guy, okay? So 3, I'm going to go ahead and factor this one. 3 times a minus 4. And now it's going to go on top because I'm reversing it. And then a plus 1 goes on the bottom, okay? Now my restrictions right here, I have to take restrictions for this divisor and this entire fraction because up here is being divided by. Okay, so a cannot be equal to, up here is positive 4, down here negative 4, and over here positive 4, negative 4 is already there. Okay, now I can start canceling. I have an a minus 4 right here, and a minus 4 right here. That's about it, right? And so I can go ahead and simplify this as going to be I'll go ahead and write it in red, I guess. A plus 5 times a minus 3. I have this 3, I'm going to keep that out in front. Over a plus 4 times a plus 4. Or you could put that as a plus 4 squared, would be just fine also. A cannot be equal to 4 negative 4. Okay? And that's how you divide. It's really quite simple. Okay? So we're going to divide this guy now. Okay, so we're going to flip this second guy and multiply him. And don't forget to factor. Okay, so we're going to go 1 over. Factor out this bottom one. It looks like the greatest common factor of x, first of all. So then we have x plus 9 left over. And then I'm going to multiply. And then this guy's going to go on top. So I'm going to factor out a 3 and an x. That will leave us with just an x minus 9. Okay. And then down here, I'm going to have a 6 minus x down here. Now I could make that an x minus or x plus 6 and put a negative out in front, but it's not going to do me any good because I don't have any x plus 6 on top. Okay. So it looks like I don't have a lot of common factors, right? I just have this x here and this x here. I can't cancel these 3 and the 6 guys because remember that's not a factor. Okay. And so what I'm going to be just left with here is just going to be a 3 times x minus 9 over, we have x plus 9, and then 6 minus x. Okay, now I could factor a negative out there, so it'd be a negative, and I would, to make that a negative, here, I'll just do this right here. I'd make that a negative 6 plus x. And so then we could write this as 3 times x minus 9 over negative x plus 9 x minus 6, like that. But that's not going to do us any good, really. I mean, that's just fine. Okay. All right. Next up, let's go ahead and divide one more. You might want to try this, turn off your video, try it on your own, and come back and see how you do. Okay, so we're multiplying again. So I'm going to go ahead and factor out a 2x up here on top. It's going to leave me with an x minus 6 over x plus 5. I'm going to multiply by, after I flip this upside down, I'm going to be x plus 5 on top and x minus 6 on bottom. Okay, let's go ahead and note all my restrictions. So x minus 5, so x cannot be equal to negative 5, sorry about that. A negative 5 again, and a positive 6. So those are my restrictions, okay? I can cancel out my x minus 5 factors, and I can cancel out my x minus 6 factors. So all I'm left with is just 2x. And x cannot be equal to negative 5 and 6. And there you go. Voila. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Right here it says find and simplify the ratio of the volume of figure A to the volume of figure B. Okay? So volume, if you remember back from geometry, is the area of the base times the height of the object. So capital H because it's a three-dimensional object, okay? So I'm going to put my volume B over here. So I go volume B equals my area of my base is going to be 3x times x. So 3x times x, that's my area of my base, okay? Times my height, which is x plus 1, times x plus 1. If I simplify that, that's going to give me 3x squared times x plus 1. I'm going to leave it like that because it's in factored form, and I guess I'm going to have to do some factoring. Okay, so I'm going to take my volume of, oh, sorry, this is figure A, isn't it? Gracious. Figure A, sorry. Volume of figure B is going to be my area of my base, which will be x times x plus 2 times my height, 2x. If I multiply those, I'm just going to take 2x times x is 2x squared times x plus 2. So now the ratio of volume A to volume B, so volume A to volume B is going to be 3x squared times x plus 1 over 2x squared times x plus 1. 2, sorry. Get away from myself a little bit here. 2. Okay, and then the only thing that gets to cancel out here is going to be this guy right here. So my ratio is going to be equal to 3, let's see, 3 times x plus 1 over 2 times x plus 2. And that's my ratio of my volume A to volume B. Okay? All right, so this is a little summary, by the way, of your multiplication, division, and rational expression, and so forth and so on, okay? And then you have an Excel. Be sure to attach all your work as usual, and I will see you all in the next Zoom. Have a great night.